you know, the products that you enjoy and use today were not actually made for what you're using them for.
Yeah, and we went on a mission, and we did some deep research to find the craziest ones, and then we ordered them, and now we're gonna use them. Get out of it!
What the fuck? On to the first product. Lysol. You may know this as a little household disinfectant.
I didn't even know that.
Hey, why is it leaking?
Hey, give it an open, let's have a little sniff. It looks quite tasty, to be honest with you. I could imagine drinking Lysol.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Ooh. That doesn't even smell good.
It's from concentrate. So this is used today for cleaning countertops, bathrooms, toilets, just the house, right? You just disinfect stuff. It kills germs. But this innocent household disinfectant actually started out really dark. So stop smiling. This is the part where shit gets serious. This was actually marketed at women in a very...
Not for women.
Kind of a little bit of both.
At, all right.
So this originally started out as a feminine hygiene product and birth control. That's what this was, Lysol.
How?
Well, let me tell you, bud.
Oh, God.
Let me read you some of the advertisements that they made, and this will explain it. So this first ad is pretty crazy. It says, he never pays her compliments. Why? He praises other women. Why? He's often kept downtown. Why? She was careless about her feminine hygiene. Yo! Or here's another one. She won college honors but flunked as a wife. Why? Feminine hygiene.
How do you, so I don't understand how that was like a soap that you just...
Oh, let me tell you, buddy. You ain't ready for this one. Wait, let me tell you one more advertisement.
Okay.
They're so good. Well, they're not good. They're bad.
Got 'em.
This ad pictures a woman locked in a room. And it put the quote by her saying, "Please, Dave, please don't let me be locked out from you." What the hell, man? The way that this product was actually used was cleaning downstairs.
Yeah.
That's what Lysol was. They have a word called douching, which I'm not too familiar with.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know if that was safe to say on YouTube, but it's out there.
Got 'em.
I guess that is a necessary piece of information to understand how ridiculous that is, because I thought it was topical.
I think it was a little bit of both. Okay, so here comes the part why it changed.
Okay.
Because basically these women were dropping.
Doing what?
Dying.
Oh.
So it actually, doctors found out that it was killing women, and they had like a bunch of issues from using the product. So what they did was they tried to make the actual chemicals in here a lot more gentle, and then eventually it just turned into a household product. But the exact same name, I'm pretty sure it's the same logo, everything. It's just now something that you can think about every time you clean the kitchen.
Started this video off real dark, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was very dark. On to the next.
Okay, my first product is Listerine, and not only was its original intention to clean floors, right? This is what we would do with it.
My bathroom
floors. Wounds, you got any wounds? And even cure gonorrhea, but how they...
It kind of smells like it would clean the floor.
Yeah, but how they honestly made the switch into mouthwash is like the low down, dirty, immoral, kind of like Lysol, but just as bad. It was invented in 1879, so probably a little bit like your Lysol, and it was for just general purpose, stuff. And the thing is, it wasn't even that unpopular.
Back in the bullshit era.
Then, in the 1920s, they started running ads, and they literally created the fear so that they could cure it with this. They started running this word called halitosis. So halitosis is Latin for bad breath, but they kind of made bad breath to be like this medical issue. They even created characters like Sad Edna, and Sad Edna never married because she had bad breath, and they said halitosis makes you unpopular.
It's exactly like Lysol.
Just through playing through people's social anxieties, it worked. So here it said in just a couple of years, they went from $150,000 in sales of, disinfectant and stuff like that. They ran those ads and they did over $8 million in sales in just a couple of years. So basically, and not only that, but they ruined it for all of us because all of the ad campaigns after that, they called this the halitosis effect. And they started playing on people's fears. I don't know when Lysol was invented, but it might have been because of this. So thanks, Listerine, you fucked us all.
How did they switch over to mouthwash?
They used a bunch of different things. And they were like, oh, let's try it for this, try it for that. And then mouthwash kicked off. And then that was that. Now we use it all the time.
It smells like fucking floor cleaner. Yeah, let's go to the next one.
It's gonna smell good in here.
The great outdoors, huh? Why don't you take a deep breath? Get some fresh air with me, bud. Cigarettes, that is the next one. And this is for entertainment purposes, it's not real.
How can these possibly be for a different purpose?
Back in the
I'm
day,
pretty sure I saw smoke come out of that, dog.
Hey, look, there's glitter on the end of this. Let's just verify.
Replay that and look into the... Bro.
Oh, that's probably glitter in my lungs now.
you inhaled.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I knew there was smoke coming out.
So this... today, demonized by everyone, we all know this kills people literally, but back in the day, doctors recommended this. They were actually like, you know what, have some of this and you'll live longer and you'll feel better. And you know how nowadays on toothpaste it's like 9 out of 10 doctors recommend.
Yeah.
It was like 9 out of 10 doctors smoke Marlboro or whatever the brand was back then. I think it was Camels in some of these advertisements. Bro. So this was actually a health product back in the day.
What I'm quickly realizing recording this video is that our parents and our parents' generation cooked beyond belief. No wonder they're dropping.
They were smoking cigs and douching with Lysol. Fun fact, by the 1960s, half of all adults were smoking. Can you believe that? On to the next.
Okay, so for my next product, let's go to your fridge. Let's bypass all of the alcohol you have in here. So, we have the good old Coke. Now, most of us know that yes, it was different and stuff, but originally, this was actually a medicine invented by what do you call those people in the freaking, that give you the drugs at the counter? Pharmacist. It was invented by a pharmacist. This was a non-alcoholic alternative to booze, right? You might wonder why. Because 9 milligrams of freaking cocaine existed in this per glass back when it was invented, as well as the caffeine. So it was advertised as like this special thing to take away headaches and get you more wired up and, get a bit of energy, and that's why. So the pharmacist who invented it in freaking 1886, this is so old, they said it was a brain tonic. Oh, and also some of the little things that this medicine could fix included anxiety and erectile dysfunction. So you wish it still had it that much.
Okay, so Coke, that's where it got the name off from,
so,
right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Coca-Cola, yeah, it had Coke. And which is so crazy because think about how expensive it would be if you had a bit of Coke in every bottle to sell that. But in the 1900s, early 1900s, the public sentiment around cocaine started shifting and they were like, no, bad cocaine, and then they quietly took it out. And now we have my champ nowadays.
So it may still be trace amounts, is what you're saying.
Well, Elon could buy it and put it back in. That's what he did suggest.
Oh.
There you go, next product.
All right, bud, listen, come over here. I know you've got your little Coke story, but everybody knows that one, let's be honest. This one, no one knows about. Do you know about 7-Up?
Oh, it used to have...
No, take a guess. Take a guess.
You had something funny in there.
Nope. It sure was not funny.
It was used as Lysol.
Nope. 7-Up was used to treat bipolar disorder.
What? Nah, you're just making this up now.
That is true.
Sound like Kanye drinks so much.
The actual name of this was called Bib Label Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda. So the main thing in this was lithium, which treats bipolar today.
Lithium? Is that a metal? Lithium? For batteries? It's a substance for batteries, I'm pretty sure. Lithium.
I'm pretty sure as well, yeah. Well, maybe that's lithium ion. I don't know if there's a difference. But people have long speculated, knowing this history, why the hell they called it 7-Up. And we actually don't know. They were like, because lithium has 7 atoms in there, or it's 7 ounces, but nobody knows.
Yeah, but I don't understand how it's for bipolar.
Lithium, which treats bipolar.
What was their claim for, like, this is good for bipolar?
Well, it wasn't bipolar back then. It was called antidepressant soda. So that's how they marketed it. They said, you're a little bit down, take some of this and you'll be good.
Because it didn't exist.
I mean, just think back then, if you could be like, buy some Lysol and you could be married, buy some of this and you'll be happy. Like, life seems so like, just pick up something from the supermarket and you're good. Nowadays, I gotta buy a course and I gotta do all kinds of shit just to be happy.
Knowledge.
But yeah, this was one of the OGs.
So it was just basically a flip in marketing. Same product, but flip in marketing.
No. It did contain lithium in it, and now they've removed it since. So now it no longer contains lithium. You're not going to get happy drinking this. I mean, it tastes pretty good, but...
So what does contain lithium that can make me happy then?
Bipolar medication.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what it's used today, but before.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And they just called it antidepressant.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. Oh, well done. We've actually come quite far as a species.
But to bring this full circle, this was actually also owned previously by Marlboro, the cigarette company. So, cahoots.
And Marlboro was owned by BlackRock, and BlackRock is owned by
Lysol. So it all makes sense now. On to the next one.
All right, so this bud, you know what this is? A little, it's a lot less known than my last product, Coca-Cola, but this was invented in a laboratory as a potential lifesaver. Any guesses?
Really? The camera, get a good look at that.
Yeah.
That's a vial of liquid right there.
Potential lifesaver.
Tell them what that actually is. I'm assuming it's not the real thing.
This is the real thing. I had to go on the black market to get this. That's not even a joke. So, this was invented in a laboratory, and researchers were trying to find a way to prevent skin cancer. And they knew that having a little bit of a tan did help against the harmful UV rays. But how do you get that nice tan to protect yourself from the sun, right? How do you protect yourself from the sun without going and getting that damage in the sun? This is your answer. So you take this and you inject it, and once you do, it gives you what they call a sunless tan. So it triggers your body to synthetically create melanin, and it gives you this tan. Then you're all good. You don't have to damage your skin. But that's not where the story ends. In the actual trials, it took a few wild turns. It didn't just tan your skin, it also caused spontaneous sexual arousal. Okay, look at this. So, according to my research, in one of the early tests, 9 out of 10 male volunteers experienced surprise erections after taking it.
So they're in a lab and they're just injecting people.
Patient 0. You're gonna have to do better than that.
I don't know, Joe, that's it.
Because of its success in that field, it was basically repurposed as a different medication for sexual dysfunction, and it was even approved by the FDA as Lysol, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Some, what would you say? Vylecy. So go and get some Vylecy today. Now, it was also noted that this has kind of been a success in both routes, because a lot of people now use it as sunless tanning. However, it never got FDA approved, so it is illegal to sell. So I did have to go on the black market to buy this. Not illegal to buy it.
It's water.
But
No.
to sell it, whoever sold this to me, I hope you should be going to jail.
So is this used for erectile dysfunction today?
Yes.
So this is FDA approved for that?
Yes, the same peptide that is used for that is also now erectile dysfunction. What we're finding is all these scientists testing out these little compounds, and they're just like, oh, it had that side effect, we'll use it as a feature and then turn it into a medication. So,
all right, well, you stay set right here and I'll get my product. My product, heroin. Okay?
do you call it a product?
Wow.
Got him.
So do you also buy this from the black market?
Yeah, this one's a little bit interesting because it was created by a company called Bayer. And they also invented aspirin in the same week. So they created heroin and aspirin.
Jeez, okay.
So as far as, drugs go, what would you say is the most addictive?
Meth?
Heroin.
Really?
Yep. Yet it was marketed as the non-addictive substitute to morphine.
See, now that's some bullshit.
That's how this was marketed as.
Oh man, America?
You know it, baby!
I think actually, going back, we might be looking at an all-American lineup. I'm not even joking.
So how people actually use it was sold over the counter at pharmacies and stuff like that. It was for coughs, pains, stuff like that. Basically,
Heroin for coughs.
Yeah. So they came in little nice bottles and stuff like that. It was a liquid, I think. Obviously, this is the powder form. Now, there's no crazy turnaround where they managed to remarket this. They basically found out that everybody got hooked and they had to take it off the shelf. Okay, so yeah, this was originally good. That's terrible, but I mean, in the spirit of using products, should we get this down?
What?
All right, so if
Wait,
you're
give me a
watching
spin.
this,
I'll take a spin.
we are now officially changing the title to "We Used Products" for what they were originally intended. Elliot did skip out on the Lysol, but that is crazy. Oh, you only did like a quarter anyway. Come on, druggies, let's come on. Hey, get out of it. All right, and then for our last products, most of our items, they've had they started as one thing and then they ended in another thing. This has had so many twists and turns. It's pretty crazy.
Rogan. Joe Rogan invented that. Back in...
That would be so perfect. So this originally, when scientists were cooking this up back in the 1950s, they were looking for a cure for stomach ulcers, and they trialed their little compounds out on dogs, and then when they gave it to them, they realized those dogs, their blood pressure just dropped, and they were like, holy. So they were like, all right, let's lean into the old blood pressure side, and 20 years of work later, they finally got it FDA approved as a pill that you would take, right? Monodoxil or Minoxidil. Turns out though, problem with it, their blood pressure did lower, and this was pretty popular, but they'd wake up in the morning, they started sprouting this...
Well, you said it, Chewy.
This unwanted hair. Up to 80% of the people that were taking this for blood pressure had reported unwanted hair growth. So another 20 years later, once they realized that it was growing all of this hair, they were like, all right, fine, let's lean into that one more time. And 20 years after that, Rogaine became the first scientifically proven method to treat male pattern baldness. And that is how you have Rogaine today.
How do you use, is that tablets?
So no, okay, good point. They switched it from pill form and they turned the compound into a liquid. Now you just rub it on your chin or your hair or whatever, and it actually regrows hair. Anyone that wants to use this, any hair that you grow, it does actually fall out. So if you use it, you have to commit to using it for the rest of your life. I reckon though, that's probably a little design so they need to use it for the rest of their life.
Damn, so it's like a product built off of planned obsolescence, but it's just part of a chemical, huh?
Yeah, allegedly.
Wow.
But yeah.
Joe Rogan, huh?
Yeah, Rogan really did well with this one. You cooked.
All right, well, I got one more.
What?
Yep. Secret product.
All
right, what am I doing right now, bud?
You're walking on a treadmill.
And what does that do?
Gets you fit and healthy.
And?
Makes you happy and lose weight.
Lose weight.
Okay.
But this is what people did before my product came along.
Yours?
Well, the product I'm gonna feature, okay? This was the loser thing that you had to do. You had a treadmill. Stop.
All right.
Because my product that I'm featuring...
So we got a special Elliot Page product launch?
Is this.
Damn. Heroin again.
This is Ozempic. Alright?
Oh, Ozempic.
This versus hours on that, which one you taking?
Oh, Ozempic.
Ozempic. So this is the newest one on the list. Ozempic was originally made in, guess the year?
2006.
2017. This brother,
so new.
yeah, and it was invented for diabetes.
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 I'm pretty sure it's diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Thank you, Wilford. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Originally diabetes medication, which it is still today, but I don't know who, but they found out, I guess the people that were taking it for diabetes, that when you actually take it, you inject it, what the fuck? You suddenly just shed a bunch of weight. Now the issue is, this became insanely popular, like you guys know about it, through like all these celebrities doing it.
Know about it.
They start looking like skeletons, they become twigs because you lose your muscle as well if you're on this stuff. So
Talking about Rogan, yeah, he talks about it all the time.
yeah, so that's originally this was diabetes, and now it's
You heard the
weight loss.
conspiracy, right? That Ozempic has been around for ages. The Hollywood's elites just like kept it secret, and then finally they're like, oh, cat's out of the bag.
That could be the case. Well, 2017 unless Dylan's right. So there you have it, bud. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, basically I learned that humanity really had a glow up.
And it makes me think, what are we using now that's gonna be future people being like, those losers?
I bet it's like Cocoa Pops or some random...
They drank water? They were killing themselves every day.
Alright, well, subscribe to the channel for more videos similar to this, because I don't know about this one. Just
You
subscribe.
never know. Yeah, they're probably we're gonna do a travel vlog next, I reckon.
I thought we were getting more into product reviews.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Alright, cool. See you in the next one.